Hi guys, we'll wait for more 5 minutes. We'll start the webinar shortly as we are waiting for more participants to get in. So I request to please be on mute. I request all to please be on mute till the time. We'll start the webinar when in 5 or 10 minutes. Thanks for your patience, guys. Okay, so I think we are good to start the session. So, good morning to all. We welcome you to this one day session on AI 102 certification. Myself, Chaitali, your host for this session. Before moving ahead, let me give you a small introduction about our today's event sponsor, Synergetics. Go ahead with the slide. So, Synergetics is India's one of a kind corporate learning solution company which help any industry to get their relevant technological solution and helps to be on the top of the competition. We are not only restricted to the group trainings, but also our certification training will help every individual to be on the top of the competition. Going ahead with that, we have the solutions as you can see on the screen. Onboarding solution, reskilling solution, certification, certification plus add-on, cloud adoption, architecting, practice playbook, latest technology training, and emerging technology training. Today's session is organized by ATC community and sponsored by Synergetics and Microsoft. Our ATC community is open to all the people who are interested in Microsoft cloud technologies. You just need to follow our meetup groups, which are an emerging technology community for all, Azure Tech Community Pune for Punekars, Azure Tech Community Gujarat for Gujarati Tech, and AI on the Azure Tech Community Nagpur for Nagpurkars. You just need to install the Meetup app on your phone to follow our communities. So you'll get the updates regarding the webinars and workshop we do. Then the small code of conduct which you all need to follow. No one is allowed to take the screenshot of the presentation and can't do screen recording. If you need the recording, then we'll upload it on the YouTube channel. You just have to subscribe to a YouTube channel. Link will be provided to you all in the chat box. Go ahead. Today's speaker for the session is Mr. Chandrasekhar Deshpande. He's working in this tech corporate industry for more than 30 plus years. He is an MCT Microsoft certified trainer and has worked with many Fortune companies like Accenture, Infosys, and more. Now, the agenda for the session, as you can see on the screen, what all we will cover in this session. Go ahead. Then we have special announcement to do. As you all know, we are providing free MOC, that is Microsoft official courseware for AI 102. So you just have to fill out the MOC activation form. The link will be provided to that form in the chat box. So you will receive the code for the MOC on your mail ID. So don't forget to fill out the MOC activation form. Then we have exam voucher discount on AI 102. So if you want to claim the discount for this exam voucher, you can connect us on the given official mail ID or you can contact us. The number and the email ID will be provided to you in the chat box. Then we have the badge, that is learning achievement badge for AI 102. We'll explain the steps to redeem the badge in the break time. So you can redeem the badge for AI 102. Go ahead. Now you can grow professionally by adding the certification. We can arrange any of these fundamentals as well as advanced role-based training, particularly for your organization. Go ahead with the slides. Here you can see what all we can cover. The courses, the fundamental courses. Go ahead. If you want any of the training regarding this advanced courses or the fundamental courses, you can connect with us. Go ahead. Then we have the next certification webinar on PL 900. It will be two half a day session on 29th and 30th of November from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. The registration link for this webinar will be provided to you all in the chat box, so you can register through that. Do follow us on our social media platforms to get the updates regarding our webinar, workshop, and more. Also, it's an humble request to all the participants, those who have joined the webinar, to fill out the feedback form by the end of the webinar. The link for the feedback form will be provided to you all in the chat box. So it's an humble request to each and every participant to just fill out the feedback form. So we'll get to know the improvements to do. Now I'd like to hand over the mic to Chandrasekhar sir, so you can move ahead with the session. Thanks to all. Thank you.
Thanks, Chaitali. Thanks to Manish. And good morning, everybody. Chandrasekhar here. So nice to see all of you. You joined here for webinar on AI-102 Azure certification. And this will be of 6 hours webinar. Okay, we will conclude by 4 o'clock. And yes, I hope some of you at least have completed AI 900 certification. This is because, for AI 102 certification, the study of AI 900 certification certainly helps because AI 900 provides a kind of a foundational concept for this certification, and it is AI 102 certification. I'm sharing my screen. Would like to know whether my screen is reaching to you. So just give me a minute. Let me know
Yes,
whether my
your screen is visible.
Thanks, Chetali. So here to begin with, first of all, I will quickly explain you pattern for the examination. Okay, and after that, we will try to understand the concepts. Okay, here I am also planning to cover around 40 questions, 40 to 50 questions, which are likely the questions which are normally asked in the examination. I mean to say, these are similar questions, so you will get an idea what kind of questions are normally asked in the examination. Okay, whole curriculum of AI 102 has been divided into 5 modules here. And here you can see natural language processing module has been given the highest weightage here, which is of around 25 to 30%. Okay, next is computer vision solution. It has a weightage of around 20 to 25%. So here you can see these two modules are actually comprising around 55% of weightage. The very first module is a kind of a overview of all the services available in cognitive service on Azure, and it is carrying around 10 to 15% of weightage. So you will see first 3 modules are covering around 65 to 70% of weightage. Now for passing the examination, these 3 modules are not enough because for passing the examination, you have 70% minimum passing score. 70% minimum passing score. And if you just rely on first 3 modules, okay, maybe, it will be, a very borderline planning. Okay, in case if, 1 or 2 questions, if you miss from these first 3 modules, there is a likelihood of, not scoring the examination successfully. So there are definitely at least 4 modules. You
Hello,
must to
Chandrasekhar
prepare.
sir.
Hello.
Sorry to interrupt. Just need to make sure that you will show the display the full screen as the text is too small to visible.
Acha, acha. Okay, okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. Now is it good?
Yeah, yeah, perfect. Thank you.
Mm, okay, okay. So I always recommend you to go for all 5 modules. Okay, but at least 4 modules you must to prepare for the examination. Okay, what kind of examination it is? Let us try to understand. All are MCQ questions with a single or multi choices. Okay, but one more point to note here that there are new type of questions in this examination probably will be asked. We call them as the simulation questions, where a brief hands-on you may be asked to do brief hands-on. So simulation questions. So one small target may be given, and you may be given one link on which you have to click, and you have to follow a couple of steps, and you have to show that how quickly you are able to follow those steps accurately. There may be few simulation type of questions where virtual Azure portal is made accessible, and you may be asked to follow few practical steps. So I will take you to a few such questions also to just let how to solve such questions. Radio buttons means now see other questions are MCQ type. There may be single choice. If they are single choice, you will see radio buttons there. If they are multi-choice, you will see checkboxes there. Multi-choice question certainly carries multifold weightage. It is a bit obvious. So this is not the case that every question will have same weightage. Every question will have different weightage. If it is multi-choice, it is a bit obvious that it is carrying larger weight. And if it is single choice, it may carry less weight. That is one thing. Depending on the simplicity and the complexity of the question, there also the weightage is a different question to question. There is no negative marking. This is extremely important point that there is no negative marking, and that's why it is recommended that you should attempt each and every question. You should attempt each and every question. Okay, and I will give you some, keys also how you can attempt these questions. Okay, and ensure that your answer is nearly correct. Total passing score is 700 out of 1000. Total score is 1000. And see, your score is shown immediately after you submit the examination. So when you submit the examination, you are always asked to stay there for next 15 minutes. And within those last 15 minutes, you will see the score. You will also see the statistics in which module your performance is good and in which module you need to you need to work more. So it also shows you statistics. Total examination duration is 150 minutes, including joining 50 minutes early, staying there for 15 minutes at last. So actual examination is of 2 hours. Again, would like to bring to everybody's notice, earlier examinations were of 3 hours, but now they have changed this duration. Okay, now they are making these examinations of 2 hours. There are around 40 to 58 questions. Everybody will get a different question set. Everybody will get a different number of questions also. There may be small case study like questions given. Okay, and those questions, we will also see those types of questions. Okay, where you may be given one small case study and you will have to read the case study and attempt some of the questions. Okay, so examination pattern is something like this. Yes. And another interesting thing is that you can appear for this examination even from home. You don't have to, adhere to the schedule of the Prometric Center. Nowadays, what is happening is that many Prometric centers are, limiting this exemption time slot to noon, 2-3 hours only. And because of that, what is happening is that if it is a time slot in the noon, you may not get the time slot on the day you are expecting to go for the examination. Or if you get a time slot, okay, suitable to you, okay, you will have to go on the leave because, in the noon, you cannot go to office. So you can appear for the examination from home. And whenever you are appearing for the examination from home, larger choices of time slot you will get. Must have a room completely isolated while examination is going on. This is very important that, you cannot allow even your family members to come into the room. So you will have to lock the room from inside for this 150 minutes duration of the examination. Must maintain complete decorum of the examination without anybody around, no sound, no laptop around you, no say mobile phone around you. Nobody is supposed to be around. So that care you have to take. So you have to maintain complete decorum for going for the examination. Audio and video must be properly working on the laptop that you are planning to give the examination. Okay, so for this purpose, before you go for the examination, you have to run some test. That script gets downloaded automatically in your laptop, and that script is executed, which test for mainly three things. One is whether audio is working properly, whether video is working properly, and whether enough internet speed is available or not. So accordingly, it certifies your laptop, and if that laptop is certified, then you can go for the examination. This test you can run even 3-4 days before the examination, so that in case if you suspect whether laptop will work properly at the time of examination, you can run such a test well before you go for the examination. Okay, and once that laptop is certified, okay, that laptop you can use for the examination. But remember, exactly same laptop you will have to use at the time of examination. If it is a company laptop, you will have to disable company network. Okay, that is a very important point to note. And you must be within your private network. The laptop must be used for examination, must pass all hardware tests well before the examination. Okay, so since 3 years, I'm attempting this examination from home only, and I have stopped going to the Prometric Center for appearing for the examination because time slot doesn't match. So examination material is available. Let me share these URLs to you. So hold just a minute. Sorry, I think I did not update these URLs. Okay. I am sharing a couple of URLs with you. This URL, you will get whole documentation here. Okay. Now let us have a look at a couple of slides, okay, to take an overview of the curriculum. If you want to see the curriculum in detail, what you can do in Google, you can search for Azure certification AI-102. Just a minute, sorry. Here it is. So let me share that URL also. Okay, and on this URL also, you will see you can schedule examination from here. Okay, and also you will see uh, study pages. So here you can see study pages. So let me share this URL also with you, and you can see study pages also. Although Chaitanya has shared with you MOC details, so there also you will get whole study material, but this online study material you can get from here. Okay, that is one thing. Second thing, breakup of curriculum has been given here. So that will also be important for you. Okay, if you want to go for paid certifications, for attending sessions on certifications, these are all paid sessions. From here you can do that. But this kind of session, will take you overview of the topics in the curriculum. Okay, and definitely such type of sessions will help you, to get ready for certifications. Okay, from here you can schedule the examination. Okay, I will take you through a couple of questions post lunch break. Okay, and these questions will give you idea what kind of questions may be asked in the examination. Okay, so before that, let us go through a couple of slides and take an overview of all the topics. So, what is artificial intelligence? This is about module 1. I am beginning with module 1. So what is artificial intelligence and what are all services available in artificial intelligence? Artificial intelligence basically is a mimicking human-like behavior and human-like capabilities. So, like whenever there is an image in front of us, we identify our relatives and our people in that photograph, our relatives and our friends in that photograph. So that is visual perception. Okay, so from the photograph, we may realize, okay, face of a person. From the face, we may realize, is that person is in distress, or whether that sentiment of that person is showing happiness on the face. Okay, so we can analyze the face, we can analyze the image, and from the face we can understand whether that person is happy or not. From the image, we can understand what is happening in that image. Okay, so here we are going to have services which will analyze the images, okay, and give us more information about the content of the image. It will analyze the video contents also, and from video content, we will come to know what is happening in that video. So that is visual perception. In text analysis, the text document can be accessed and uh, can be understood. Okay, and that document can be analyzed also to know, okay, is it with a positive sentiment, is it with a negative sentiment? Okay, from that document we can analyze some key phrases also, we can analyze some entity words also. Okay, and we can use these things in business or in day-to-day life for appropriate use cases. Speech. In speech, whenever somebody is speaking, it gets immediately translated into some another language, text of some another language. If you are having a text written in one language and you want somebody to read that text for you, okay, and convert that text into audio. Okay, so such type of services are available in speech. So speech to text, text to speech, such type of services are available in speech. Okay, you may have seen uh, whenever you see a movie, captions are shown at the bottom of the video. Okay, so maybe that movie is a French, but you can understand that movie through the captions appearing in Indian languages or appearing in English like language. So that is again a kind of a that is again one of the services in the speech. Alexa, to which you give some command, and from the command that you have given through audio, you know that Alexa understand exactly what it has to do. Okay, and it converts your command into action, and accordingly it does something. So Alexa, and then the Google, in the Google also, I don't remember its name, but in the Google also I can give the command, and accordingly, I can ask Google uh, to take some action to open some web page, or maybe in the mobile, if I give some command to call somebody, it starts calling to somebody. Okay, so such type of actions can be taken, and that again is a part of artificial intelligence. And all these things we are doing for making decisions. So kind of decision making, which is a unique preposition for humans, that is possible even for artificial intelligence. I just got some message because check. Yes. Ah, yes. Hey Google. Correct. Hey Google. Yeah. So as say, now we are realizing that many such things are happening around us. So Google is working whenever I want to take a selfie. My mobile identifies my face or all faces which are coming under focus of that camera of the selfie. Okay, and draw the rectangles around them. So that is again artificial intelligence only, where from the image, what it is capturing, it is identifying the faces and drawing the rectangles around it. That is again an artificial intelligence. Uh, then Google Map is another example. Okay, wherein it foresee the route for me. Okay, which can take me to the destination in less time. Google Map. Okay, there are many examples we can see as on today around us. If you go to Netflix, it starts recommending you movies. If you go to Flipkart or Amazon, it starts recommending you the product which you can buy. So it is not a random recognition. It is definitely not a random recognition, but it first of all understands your pattern, personalized pattern. It understands your likings. It understands what kind of your interest. It understands. Okay, and accordingly, it starts recommending different products, different serials, and different movies to you. Okay, so around us at many places we can see all these things. So this is all data science, application of mathematical and statistical techniques to analyze the data. Okay, use of data and algorithms, that is nothing but a machine learning. So in machine learning, you can do kind of a prediction. Okay, and in machine learning, there are supervised algorithms, there are unsupervised algorithms, there are ensembling algorithms, all those things. I'm not going into those details because nowadays what is happening is we are getting all these algorithms ready. We are not supposed to write these algorithms, and we have many services, okay, chooses, which may choose the best performing algorithm for you automatically. So you even do not have to bother about which algorithm to choose. Automatically, it chooses best performing algorithm. So all these are, artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence uses machine learning, and machine learning uses whole data science. So these are different technologies and these are dependencies. Artificial intelligence for software engineers. So what skill and what are all responsibilities a software engineer may have. So AI engineers must be good in coding in one of the languages, either it is C# or Python. Python, is being recommended as on today because of its popularity and because of its very small learning curve. It is very simple to learn Python in short span of time. Okay, these services are offering you. These services are offering their services through REST endpoints. So whenever you want to consume this service, you are being an engineer, and if you want to consume this service, you should communicate to that service through REST endpoints, or there are SDKs also. Programming language SDKs are also there. Okay, I will take you to some code which will give you a glimpse of SDK. As far as development is concerned, today, integral development uh, is a need. Okay, and integral development is being followed in every kind of development, in software development, in service development, in every kind of development, integral development is followed. Okay, and in case of artificial intelligence or in case of machine learning, DevOps like arrangements are available. So DevOps means ML ops for machine learning development operations, AI ops. So ML ops, AI ops, these are the things available here. Conceptual AI understanding is also necessary for the software engineer. He must be aware of how to train the models and how to score the model, how to draw inferences out of model. He must be aware of these things. Probability and confidence score. Okay, whenever a model is trained and in the production, model gives you some prediction. How much that model is sure of that prediction, that is called as a confidence score. When model says or model agrees to you saying yes or no, how much confident that model is while saying yes. That confidence also is very important for us to take the decision. Responsible AI is a set of guidelines, okay, which are actually rules to be followed whenever you do a development in artificial intelligence. These are the rules, these are the ethics, okay, which are to be followed. So we will have a quick look at responsible AI also. Okay, here only it is. So these are six responsible AI principles: fairness, reliability and safety, privacy and security, inclusiveness, transparency, and accountability. So fairness, first of all. Okay, again, if you already have given AI 900 examination, there these responsible AI principles have been discussed much in details. So fairness. Okay, let me take one example, and through that example, we will try to understand every of the responsible AI principle. Okay, again, I repeat here that AI-102 is borrowing many uh, points from the curriculum of AI 900. So though this point is in the curriculum of AI 900, it is also there in AI 10. There are many such points which are there in the curriculum of AI 900, but are being used, and there may be questions on those, in AI 102 examination. So in order to successfully pass AI 102 examination, I will always recommend to first of all clear AI 900 examination, or at least not necessary to clear, but at least it is not mandatory to clear. It is not a prerequisite for AI 102 examination to first of all clear AI 900 examination. That is very important point. But if you want to successfully crack AI 102 examination, okay, I will always recommend to you to first of all go through uh, the concepts covered in AI 900, examination. Those concepts will help you a lot in cracking AI 102 examination, because I have seen in AI 102 examination, 15 to 20% of questions come from curriculum of AI 900 examination. And 15 to 20% is really enough large number. Fairness. If I take one example that we want to design one model for machine learning, to whom we will, now this is from finance and banking background, that branch manager receives a request from the customer to sanction a loan. And whenever branch manager receives a request from a customer, bank customer, to sanction a loan, branch manager first of all gather the information about that customer. So maybe customer has been asked to request for the loan by filling some form where customer may have to fill up whole financial status information. And looking at that information, after verifying that information, branch manager may have to come to the conclusion whether to grant a loan or not. So here what we are expecting is that instead of branch manager, we may submit this information to machine learning model, and machine learning model will then tell us, okay, whether a loan can be sanctioned to the customer or it should be denied to the customer. Looking at what parameters machine learning model will decide. So machine learning model will check the capability, financial capability of the customer to repay the loan. So machine learning model may go through some historical data to check in past whether this customer is a habitual defaulter. If he is not, okay, then he may check, machine learning model may check, okay, other factors of the likelihood of a person to repay the loan. So when it is taking this decision, the machine learning model must be fair for every customer. Machine learning model must not be looking at the other parts of it must not be racy while taking the decision. It must not be, taking the decision on the basis of the caste of a person, on the basis of the gender of a person, on the basis of the area from which that person is belonging. So it must not be coming to the conclusion on this basis. That is called as a fairness. So your model must not be taking the decision on the basis of the fairness. Reliability and safety. Whenever that model makes some prediction to you, okay, you can rely on that prediction. And specifically, in some of the models, in some of the use cases, the prediction may be fatal if it is wrong. Like we are using, automatically driven car. And in this automatically driven car, that machine learning model must take accurate decision whether to turn the car to the left or to turn the car to the right, or to apply the accelerator. It must be taking a right decision. And one wrong decision may lead to any fatal accident. Okay, and that becomes a very serious issue. So reliability and safety is extremely important here. Okay, and for this purpose, thorough testing of the model with as many data as you can, you know, is essential. So reliability and safety should build a confidence in the end user that the model is working really fine. Privacy and security. Okay, the model may not be accessible to everybody, but only accessible to only stakeholders. That is one thing. And second thing is, the data that is being used to train the model, or data that is being used to, get the model to make the decision must not be disclosed to unwarranted people. That is a privacy. So PII type of data must not be disclosed to unwarranted people. Okay, so that care also your model as well as your system must be taking. inclusiveness. Inclusiveness means the model should be having multiple interfaces to let every kind of user to be able to access that model. Every kind of user. It means uh, physically challenged people also should be in position to access the model. Okay, and maybe people who are not good in handling the keyboard, but they want to use the model through audio, that should be possible. Okay, so there are some messages from Chaitanya. You please refer to them also. Transparency. Transparency means on what factor, on what basis that model has to a conclusion on something specific. On which factors? So, for example, if that model, for some customer, if that model has declared to deny the loan to a customer, okay, on which factor that model is suggesting you to deny the loan? Whether he has previous loans already unpaid, or whether he has a depth, uh, enough depth on his shoulder so that he may not be in position to pay the installments of the new loan. So what is the reason for denying a loan to him? Okay, that also should be disclosed. Okay, that is called as a transparency. And accountability, if something goes wrong, then who is responsible? If model is not doing a prediction properly, who is responsible? Okay, we have to have the system, which will make a right person accountable for happening wrong things. So that is accountability. So in ML system or in AI system, all these 6 responsible AI principles are important. Would like to check with everybody. Okay, is it clear to you? Hello? Just would like to know, are you able to understand the things? Yes, Alim, Simran, Chandrasekhar. Okay, Lakshmi Narayan, Rajeshwari, Bhavik, Sir Babu. Okay, Manuswami, Vaibhav. Uh, fine, fine. So it looks like I am able to reach to everybody. Okay, just would like to know how many of you are aware of or worked on fundamental curriculum of artificial intelligence? How many of you? Just mention in the chat box, or you can raise your hands, or you can raise your thumb also to tell me that you already have worked on fundamentals of AI. I mean to say, some of you might have, successfully cracked AI 900, or some of you at least have gone through study material or study pages of AI 900. How many of you? Acha, Manuswami completed it. Many others are not yet completed it. Okay. Fundamentals of data science. Lakshminarayan is aware of fundamentals of data science. No, I am asking about AI. So many of us seems new to AI. Okay, if you do a search on the Google, you will get study pages for AI 900 also. Okay, so here I am doing this search for in Google AI 900 Azure certification AI 900. Uh, And here you will see skills measured, and here you will see web pages. These are study web pages. So do a search like this. Okay, quickly, first of all, go through understanding of AI 900. That there you will be ready with around 30% of things needed for AI-102. Okay, thanks. Coming back to the slides. Azure machine learning. No, for Azure machine learning or for machine learning on Azure, there are multiple solutions available for machine learning. Okay. Uh, in Azure Synapse Analytics, you can do machine learning. In Azure Databricks, you can do machine learning. I have got some message. Let me just check. We will continue class up to 4 o'clock. Up to 4 p.m. Okay, and in this, we will have one tea break and one lunch break also. Okay. Uh, one of the most popular tool for doing the machine learning is Apache Spark. Apache Spark engine. So what they have done on Azure, there are many services inside which they have provided you Apache Spark engine. So those services are like Azure Synapse Analytics. Let me just list those services. Azure Synapse Analytics. It does have Spark engine. We call it the Spark tool. Azure Data Factory. Data Factory is a complete analytical ecosystem designed around the Spark engine only. Sorry, not Data Factory. I mean to say Databricks. Okay, so complete analytics ecosystem designed around Spark engine only. Okay, then comes Azure HD Insight. Azure HD Insight is a Hadoop implementation, and at the top of Hadoop, we can run Spark engine. So what is common across these three services that there is a Spark engine for doing analytics over there. Besides that, Azure has one more service, ML service. In ML service, you can design machine learning models, okay, in three possible ways. ML designer. In ML designer, without writing the code, by dragging and dropping, you can create machine learning models. You can train machine learning models and you can deploy also machine learning models on the production environment. So there may be production environment like Dockers and Kubernetes. Kubernetes. Okay. Then we have AutoML. AutoML. Okay. Here you don't have to even bother about what type of algorithm to use. At least here you should know what type of algorithm to use. But here in AutoML, it applies the different algorithms and gives you the model, best performing model, okay, created out of some algorithm. Okay, so AutoML is does most of the thing automatically. Okay, and if you are not from development background, these are the best tools for you to get the model created. Then there comes SDK also. SDK also. SDK, in SDK also you can get the model created. Okay, but SDK gives you utmost level of customization for ultra customization. Such type of customization you may not be able to do here. Okay, but if heavy duty and very specific type of customization you want to do, then there is SDK. The point what I want to bring to your notice is these are different services available on Azure for doing machine learning. For artificial intelligence, we have a service called Azure Cognitive Service. And whatever we have seen just now, like image analysis, analysis, analytics, text analytics, text analytics. Okay, then the speech analysis. Okay, then Q&A. Okay, all these services are available under one roof, and that is called as a cognitive service. All these services are available under one roof. So here you will see machine learning. In machine learning, you submit the data to the algorithm and you get a new object of that algorithm. So it is an object in the sense language object. If it is a Java language, it will be Java object. If it is Python language, what you are using, it will be Python object. So here it will create a new object of that algorithm. And in this object, this is called as a trained object because, algorithm has been trained here by submitting the data there and you get trained object and that object then you can deploy for the production for doing the predictions. After some time with the data drift, you may see performance of that object has gone down. So you may have to retrain it after some time. And there you will see the retraining, its performance has gone up. Okay. And then again, you can redeploy newly trained model in the production environment. But these are the steps which are to be followed in data science by working with the machine learning. Azure Cognitive Services. So see here capabilities. I just have mentioned few only, but now here you will see all the capability listed here. You can do text analysis. You can do question answering. What do you mean by text analysis? So text analysis means whenever you submit text to the uh, uh, machine learning model, it gives you whether that text is mentioning some positive things about something or negative things about something. Say, for example, if you submit tweets, text from the tweets to it will give you information which tweet is with a positive sentiment and which tweet is with a negative sentiment. Okay, question answering. Bots you might have seen specifically as on today. Such bots are available or ICICI and HDFC websites. Okay, specifically on the websites of private banks, where you can put the question and immediately you will get the answer. At the another end, there is no human being answering your question. Still, you get answer fairly accurate. Okay, so that you get an impression that some human is answering to you. So that is called as a question answering. Language understanding. Alexa is an example here, which understands. Sorry, language understanding means it understands whether you are speaking in English or in any other language. That is language understanding. And from the language understanding, it can understand commands also. It can do translation also. Okay, speech recognition is possible. Speech synthesis is possible. Speech translation. So, couple of things we will try to understand in today's discussion. Image analysis, video analysis, image classification, object detection, facial analysis, optical character recognition, all these things are possible in under computer vision. Computer vision is a cognitive service. So under computer vision, all these things are possible. So from the image, you can identify objects like where is a car in that image, where is a city bus in that image, where are people in that image. So okay, if there are people in that image and the face of the person is it's say enough clear, then what is the sentiment of that person on the face, that also you can come to know. Okay, you can realize from that face, from that image, is it a image of the traffic in the city? Is it image of the people in some functions. So that analysis also it can do. Okay, facial analysis and different things are possible through vision. Okay, decision making. Okay, anomaly detection. That this anomaly detection is extensively being used. Okay, in maintaining security while the bank system does the bank transactions for you, and there it keeps monitoring all the time uh, whether whenever you are doing the bank transactions, whether something unusual is happening whenever you are doing it. And if it recognize that some unusual is happening, it becomes anomaly detection. Okay, so something weird if it's happening, that comes under anomaly detection. Content moderation. Whenever you submit the text, maybe in the form of the tweets or maybe in the form of the written documents, okay, from the text, it may recognize whether there are some unwarranted words. Okay. Content personalization. Content personalization means uh, no. See, recently we might have seen uh, that some tweets somebody had been blocked or posting unwarranted tweets. So there are no humans there keep monitoring all the tweets raised all over the world. So basically, there are algorithms which go through the content moderation and remove the tweets which are not supposed to be publicly made visible. Content personalization. I already gave you example of recommendation engine to a person. By understanding that person's likings and interest, giving him recommendation. That is content personalization. Okay, so these are different cognitive services available. And form recognizer, metrics advisor, video analyzer for media, immersive reader, bot services, cognitive search. These are the different services available. Bot service. Okay, a person puts the question and immediately that person gets the answer. So person can put the question in the different ways. Person may send question through email. Person may send a question through chat box. Okay, or person may send a question to some document and he should get the answer for it. So how the question is being sent, that is called as a channel. Is it being sent through email? Is it being sent through messages, or is it being sent through some documentation? So those are called as the channels, and a person gets answer to it. Okay, so somebody, not a human being, but some kind of engine is existing at the another end, and that engine knows on which type of question, what type of answer to be given. The question and the answer, that first of all, that pair has been used to teach the engine. So hundreds and thousands of such questions and their answers are used to teach to the chatbot model there. And based on that, then that model starts answering the question. So that is called as the bot service. Cognitive search. What is happening as on today is there may be millions of documents uploaded. And on these millions of documents, you want your system to do the categorization. Okay, try to see how Google brings the pages or how Google brings the documents for you. That whenever you submit some question to the Google or you submit some set of words to the Google crawls into the documents and give you that document. So that is nothing but a content search. That is nothing but a cognitive search. So their documents are to be indexed for fast searching, and whatever be the document you need, that document will be given to you based on the keywords those you are using. So that is called as the cognitive search. Consider, since the independence in India, our judiciary system has given many rulings. And there are, billions of documents created out of it. Now, for a advocate, to get these documents is extremely difficult, almost impossible, for him to get all the documents related to one specific case. Almost impossible. He may refer to some of the historical cases, but he will not get all the cases, and that can be made possible through uh, this cognitive search. Other cognitive services, Azure Form Recognizer. Now, in case if receipts entry forms are existing in the hard copy form, and we want to digitize them from such receipts and from such forms, they may be in the form of the PDF or doc. We want to read the information and digitize it directly into schema-based storage. There, form recognizer is suitable. So in form recognizer, it uses optical character recognition and picks up the product. So in case if it is a bill, okay. So what are all items appearing in that bill? What is the total cost in that bill, for which customer that bill is being generated, on which date, and at which time that bill is getting generated. That information, if you want to acquire, that can be acquired from Azure Form Recognizer. Azure Metrics Advisor, a service built on the anomaly detector community service that simplifies real-time monitoring and response to critical metrics. Continuously monitored, uh, data submission and the responses can be continuously monitored to verify the latency, whether end customers are getting responses well within time, or in case if we realize through the matrix advisor that the responses are getting delayed, then we may identify why responses are getting delayed and why your system is running slow. Okay, and you are forcing customer to wait for a while to get the response. So that may happen through Matrix Advisor. Video Analyzer, Immersive Reader, lot of such services are available. Yes. Just answer these questions. Answer the first question. Which of the following best describe the predictions made by a machine learning model? Answer these questions quickly. Now, if you answer it in chat, it is difficult for me to look into chat. Or let me just check, can I look into chat? Yes, 3. Which of the following best describe the prediction made by a machine learning model? Absolutely correct values based on conditional logic, randomly selected values, or probabilistic values. So in case if you are aware of machine learning, answer 3 is correct. Answer 1 is not correct. Probabilistic values. It applies the probability there to check what can be the best answer, and the answer with the highest probability, is given to you. So it is probabilistic value. Absolutely right. Let us go to the next question. A data scientist has used Azure machine learning to train machine learning model. Train machine learning model. How can you use the model in your application? Use machine learning to publish the model as a web service, export the model as a cognitive service. You must build your application using machine learning designer. Let me just check. Answer. 3 or 2. A data scientist has used Azure machine learning, Azure ML, to train a machine learning model. There you have to publish. The first option is suitable. You have to publish it as a web service so that you can access it through REST API. You can access it through REST API. So very first option is correct here. Very first option is correct here. Let me show you actual answers here. So very first option is correct here. Okay, question third. You want to index a collection of text documents and search them for a mobile application. Which service should you use to create the index? You want your service to crawl through all the documents and create an index for quick search. I can see you are writing answer 2, and answer 2 is absolutely right. See here. Answer 2 is absolutely right. Yeah. Yes, answer 2 is absolutely right. I'm going to module 2 now. Okay, before I move ahead, would like to check with you any question on module 1. Maybe within next 10 minutes, we will have a break. So, any question? Uh, Sorry, Kumar, I will not be able to share PPTs because these are copyrights of Microsoft. So will not be able to share the PPTs. But believe me, the contents on the PPT have been collected from material of content. The emoji that Chaitali has shared to you, from there only these contents are collected. That is one thing. Also, contents also have been collected from the online documentation available, and of which the URL I just have shared. Okay, so this is not something new. Okay, these contents are from your study material only. Here you can provision the cognitive service resource. Okay, whenever you are provisioning the cognitive service resource, it asks you the cognitive service name, it asks you submission, and it also asks you location. Remember, these three things are out of this location and subscription. These two things are extremely important. Basically, when you show yourself as a client and you want to avail the service, there, these two things are extremely important. In which resource group you want to create it, and what is the pricing tier? F0, S0, like pricing tiers are available. F0 for free tier, okay, which basically has been given for you to do some practice, but you cannot use F0 at the production level for that purpose. Then S0 and P0 like services available. Those are services offering you, more features needed for at a production level. So we will try to create a cognitive service also. So I will take you to cognitive service. Okay, and I have some time in hand. So I just take you to the cognitive service. Here is I have Azure portal available. So here Azure portal. Okay, and in this Azure portal, I have created one resource group with the name AI-102. As of now, there is nothing in this resource. Okay, I want to create a cognitive service, so I'm clicking on plus create. And here I search in the marketplace, I search for cognitive service. Here it is. Cognitive service. Clicking on this cognitive service selection, I'm asking it to create it. So inside of this resource group AI-102, I want it to create this service. And here it is asking me for the region and the name. Okay, so maybe Chandra Cognitive AI-102. Yes, this name it can accept. Pricing tier. So here, F0 is not available for me. It will be available for you. It will not be available for me because I already have used it. So in my subscription, it will allow me to use a free subscription, free tier only once, not more than once. Okay, so now it is S0 for me. Okay. Uh, Other parameters I don't have to submit here. Okay, it will create the service in the default network. Okay, and here, let me just have a look at identity. No, I don't want to go with the managed identity. I am clicking on review plus create. I just don't want to use the service principal or managed identity to go with it. And here it is giving me that something I'm missing from basic. Let me just check which information I have
You haven't
already.
acknowledged that box.
Okay, okay. By checking this box, I acknowledge that I have read and understood all the terms below. Okay, responsible AI. Remember, they are making this thing mandatory that whenever you work with a cognitive service, you must abide by responsible AI principles. Those 6 principles which I already have shown to you at the beginning. Okay. Clicking on review plus create, and now it will create a cognitive service. And I am clicking on create now. And now let it create the cognitive service. It may take next 3-4 minutes to create the cognitive service. Okay. In the meantime, uh, I will take you to this slide. And on this slide, this information we already submitted while creating the cognitive service. Okay. Now let me bring your attention to this thing. Cognitive service. Okay. Now, what do you mean by multi-service resource? See, I already have shown to you inside a cognitive service, you get lots of other services. See, all these services you get under one roof and it is cognitive service. Also note that every of these service you can get at the as an individual service also. So if you want to get speech recognition only, that is possible. You can get only speech recognition service, or you can get a cognitive service inside which you will get all these services. What is the difference? Whenever you are getting speech recognition service, it creates a single service for you. For this service, it creates an endpoint. It will create endpoint for that service. It will create access keys for that service. Okay, now if you want to use speech recognition with a text analysis in combination, in that case, what you will have to do is you'll have to create a speech recognition as a separate service, text analysis as a separate service. Both the services will be different. Their endpoints will be different. Their access keys will be different. Their testing steps are different. Their deployment steps are different. Their billing will also be different. So creating individual services is possible. Okay, but if you create cognitive service, and inside cognitive service, if you use both these services, there what benefit you get in that case is there will be single endpoint for both these services. And through the single endpoint, you can access this service as well as this service. So these services can interact with each other properly. There will be one billing, not service specific billing. There will be one billing, and in that one billing, you will see bifurcation of cost incurred on you or text analysis and cost incurred on you for speech recognition. But in one billing, you will get all this. Okay, in the meantime, I can see my cognitive service is ready. I'm clicking on go to resource. And here see, this is cognitive service. And inside a cognitive service, you can see decision making, you can see language understanding, speech recognition, vision working, all form recognizer, all the things you can see under one roof, and that is cognitive service. For this cognitive service, okay, here you can see keys and endpoints. I believe everybody of you are aware of, you must have used Azure services like storage. In storage, there are, say, access keys and shared access signatures. You know, these two, one of these two things are essential whenever you want to access any blob on the service. So, for it to know whether you are authorized user or not, so you have to submit either access key or shared access signature. If it is correct, then only that storage allows you to access that block. Same is the case here. Under the head keys and endpoints, here you see four things. Not four things, three things. Okay, key one and key two. One of the keys, okay, either key one or key two, you have to use to authenticate yourself, your client now. It may be your Python code, or it may be your another service. It may be your web application, through which you want to use cognitive service. So that Python code or that web application must submit either key one or key two to first of all authenticate itself. Okay, here is the region and here is the end point. Here is the end. So this end point basically, is essential in your web application to hit to the cognitive service. Now, along with this endpoint, it creates a REST request from your web application. It creates a REST request. Along with this REST request, it passes either key one or key two, okay, for authentication. And once that is done, then that service becomes available to you. Okay, so observe here, these are given. One of the keys you have to use, and this is the information you have to submit. Also observe here, generate key one or generate key. So if you want to regenerate key one, if you suspect that key one is compromised, okay, you can regenerate. So regenerating keys is also. So that's how I have created a cognitive service. It is time for us to have a 15 minutes break. Chaitali may be waiting for you to interact with you for Azure passes. Okay, so Chaitali, are you there?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Okay, so over to you, Chaitali. I will resume uh, whenever you send me the message to
Sure,
resume or
sure.
whenever you give me
Yeah.
the call.
Yeah, we can
Okay.
resume by like 11:45. 10 to 15
Okay.
minutes break will be.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay.
Okay. Also, guys, meanwhile, in the break time, I have shared the code with the people, those who have submitted the MOC activation form, the Microsoft official courseware form. The link has been provided to you all in the chat box if you have yet to submit the form. So do submit the form to receive the MOC for AI-102. I
Chaitali, can you
repeat,
share the form
yeah,
again? I missed
yeah,
it.
yeah, sure, sure.
Chedali, can you please tell us like what it about? I'm not sure what it is.
Okay, so MOC is an Microsoft official courseware. We are providing it to you all for free. That is the study material for AI 102. So you can just get the code by submitting your response on this form. And once you redeem the code, you will get access to that study material. So it has lifetime validity. So you can access it throughout on online basis only. Hello guys, please note I have shared the MOC code on your register mail ID. Those who have submitted the MOC activation form, I have shared the code with you all on your registered mail ID. You just have to follow the steps mentioned in the mail body and redeem that code for AI-102 study material.
Hello, all are there? Will you please raise your hands if you are there? Yes, I can see Alim has raised a hand. Desh, Niklesh, Chandrasekhar, Kumar, Simran. What about others? Swami, Lakshmi Narayan, Keep your hands raised. Keep your hands raised. Rajeshwari, please. I can see 8 hands raised. Waiting for few more hands, please. I'll also raise the hand. Sir, you also raise the hand. Waiting for 2 more hands to raise. Waiting for 2 more hands to raise. Please just let me check. Yeah. Yeah. Bhavik also back. Okay. So Bhavik is also there. There are 11. I think are so there. I'm just waiting for one more to join us. Thereby we can resume the session. Just one more. If you have joined the session, please raise your hands and keep your hands raised. Huh? Okay, Bhavik also raised the hand. Let me resume the session now. I'm sharing my screen. And before we went for the tea break, so we created one cognitive service, and I did show to you from where you can get the endpoints and the keys, and how can you regenerate if you need them. Okay. Now let me take you some code. Okay, so for that purpose, just have a look at the code. Now this is a Python code. Okay, similar kind of steps you will have to follow in case if you are using any other API. Okay, so here in the line number 1, I am declaring one variable, Python variable, and the key that I have shown to you has been initialized into this variable, and endpoint also has been initialized. So here is the key and endpoint. One of the keys, okay, only one key, either key 1 or key 2 I'm using here, and I'm assigning those values to the variables. Okay, I can see the output here. Okay, so whenever I say endpoint, here is the output. Okay, and here is the key. Fine. Okay, no, Python does not have uh, this computer, so cognitive service API ready. You must have to install this SDK. For that purpose, this kind of pip command is necessary. In this pip command, just observe as your cognitive service vision, computer vision. I can put it to run also. I hope it will be executed. Yes, I think it is. Yes, it is being executed. Yeah, and I can see the output. Okay, in my SDK, say I already have installed these two things. Matplotlib, you also know, in order to draw images, Matplotlib is necessary. You know, these libraries are already installed there. Okay, so I don't have to run those commands again, but that pip command, installs the library that you are aware. Okay, now let us understand this code. Here you will see there are necessary imports. So here I am importing computer vision client and cognitive service credentials. These two are important classes, to import. Here I am using Python's OS library to connect to this file. I have kept that file under data folder, under vision subfolder. Let me show you that data folder. Under data folder, under vision subfolder, here it is, vision subfolder. I have two files, store underscore cam one, store underscore cam two. So here I am referring to this file, JPG. So this file is existing in my local machine. Okay, so I'm creating a path up to that file by mentioning the folder name and subfolder name. And here I'm creating a computer vision client. To computer vision client, I'm giving that endpoint and cognitive service credentials object. Cognitive service credential object takes a key. Here I declared a key. It is taking a key. Okay, and that key is representing the credentials to connect to. That's why that object is being created here and that is being submitted here. Okay, so after receiving the key, now that service will offer computer vision client. So it will create as a computer vision client internally. It's an object, Python object. And on that computer vision client, I may ask it to describe the image. Image from where it is coming from this JPG file. So when I'm putting this code to run, see it's running that code. It will refer to that file. And from the file, it will show me the description of the image. Oh, sorry. I would have, mentioned his key. So show key. I copy key one here. Okay, I mentioned that key here. I mentioned that key here. Okay, I also copy endpoint. So here I copy endpoint, and that endpoint I mention. Okay, let me put this code to run again. And here I put this code now. Now correct key and correct URL has been given. Okay, and here it has got the image and it has analyzed the image, and this is the description of the image. In the image, this message is not existing. This message, what it is showing is after, it has analyzed the image and as I have asked it to show me description. A woman showing her phone to a child. Okay. Now, from the image, we can sense that she is not showing her phone to the child, but she is maybe clicking a photograph of the child. But anyway, that model has recognized it that perhaps she is showing something to a child. Okay, so that is why what description is, and it is pretty sure that it is showing a phone or something like that. It is pretty sure with 39% of confidence. That's how image can be submitted and can be asked to describe. This is another image store cam2.jpg. Okay, so I am putting that image to run. I am putting that code to run and just observe. Here it is. Okay, so a person holding a phone. Now, this is the woman who is holding a phone, but maybe that model hasn't recognized that she is a woman. It is just mentioning that it's a person who is holding the. That is the description. Okay, so different types of such services I can use on that image. Okay, see here, same image I am using, but this time I am not calling describe image function. I am calling analyze image in string. Earlier I called describe image in function in string. Describe image in string. Now I'm calling analyze image in string, and there you will see what kind of analyzation it has done. So not only it is mentioning the description, it is also identifying different objects in that photograph. So for part of the room, person. Just give me a minute. Just give me. Just give me. Sorry. Lakshminarayan, what link do you want? Link for repo. Repo means what? What do you mean by repo? Acha, acha, GitHub. Okay. You can do search. GitHub AI 900. There you will get that. GitHub AI 900. There you will get that. Ah, okay. So here you will see different tags and different areas it is marking with the rectangles. Okay, so it is marking cell phone, it is marking a person, it is marking this person, and it is also identifying the age of the person. Okay, and here you observe this image does not have adult content, it does not have racy content, it does not have gore content. Okay, different tags what it has identified, identified a person, clothing, shop, okay, retail shop, woman, customer, supermarket. It has identified supermarket also. And it has identified there are bottles in the rack behind um, at the background of this photograph. All these tags it has identified. So shelf, okay, girl, lady, all these things it has identified. Those are the tags, what it is applying on the given image. Okay, so this is a code that I can apply on that image. And remember, for that image, a machine learning model has already been created. I am simply submitting image to it. And ready machine learning model or the cognitive service is already available here. I am getting a client to that service. Okay, and here to that service, I am submitting some information, and thereby I am getting actual image analysis. So this cognitive service I am using here. Okay. All these things we already have seen. Developing AI apps with cognitive service. Okay, so we created a service, and I already have shown to you how can we access that service using Python. Yes. Now here you observe key. Here is a key. Here is a key. Okay. Yes. More stringent. In case if somebody gets this access to this key, that somebody may not be really authorized, still can access the service because this key has been exposed. Now you are a developer, and if you suspect that key has been exposed, what you can do, you can regenerate. So I am regenerating key 1. See, in this key at the beginning 26 and 4573. These numbers are existing. I regenerate. Okay, and when I regenerate, number have been changed. Numbers have been changed. Okay, with this regeneration, now if I run this code, okay, this code will not work because this key is old one. This key is old one, and that key will be obsolete. I am putting it to run. Okay, and then I try to run this code. And here now it is showing me error because access has been denied. So in case if I suspect I am being developer, okay, and engineer here, if I suspect my key is compromised and has been disclosed to somebody, I may regenerate it. I will copy new key here, okay, and I will use new key now. Here, I will use. Bring this code to run. And then when I put this code to run, now this code will not show me error, and it will show me the actual result. So that is the purpose of regeneration of a key. Okay, how do I prevent disclosure of this key? Anybody if has access to my code, a key is hard coded there. Okay, in that case, then what is suggested to have more stringent security? What is suggested is to use key vault. So we will preserve that key into key vault. That key will not be disclosed in the code, and that key will not be hard coded in the code. But in that case, what we will do is that we will preserve the key into key vault. First of all, my code will authenticate itself to service principal. Yes, to service principal. Okay, and through the service principal, if this authentication is successful, then only it will give me access to the key vault. In the key vault, I will not directly refer to the key, but I will refer to the label given to that key. Using that label, I will get the key, and that key then we will use to access the service. So one more layer of security we will introduce there. This key will never be disclosed. Even in the key vault also it is never disclosed because key vault stores that key in encrypted form. So that key will never be disclosed hereafter. And to that key, you can access only through service principal, through certificate and service principal. So that adds more security to access the service. Okay, so using key vault, using encrypted key, all these are the ways, or regenerating key, all these are the ways to secure your service. Okay, that is one thing. Now, second thing, if this service, as of now, this service is existing on cloud. I have created a cognitive service here where I'm referring to this service. I want to bring this service on premise. I want to bring this service on premise because, we have many users working on premise and who are needing doing the predictions very rigorous. That's why I have a server, okay, on premise where I want this model to be deployed, okay, and I want this prediction environment to be created on premise. In that case, what we can do that we will create an image of cognitive service, and that image we will deploy in on-premise server. That is possible. We can bring that image and we can deploy it on-premise. Okay. Now, in this case, what happens is that whenever we want to access that service, still we can access it through this URL only. So this URL is identifying service on the cloud, but when I bring that service, image of that service and deploy it in on-premise, the same URL I can use to refer to that service. But remember, whenever I refer to that service which is on the cloud, it incurs a billing on me for every request that I send to that service. If I send 100 requests, for every request it will add cost to my bill. But when I'm bringing that service here onto the local machine, then how it will add to the bill. So in that case, then what is essential that when I refer to that service, when I refer to that service must incur a cost in my bill. So for that purpose, I have to submit to it another URL, and that another URL basically is used to create a bridge between the billing mechanism on the cloud with on-premise container what I have created. Okay, so I will refer to the service through this URL, and internally then what it will do, it will create a bill against utilization of the service, okay, onto the cloud. So usage metrics required for billing are sent to cognitive service resource in Azure. So there it needs this one URL and this another URL. I will have to submit these two URLs. I saw a question in the examination on this also, and we will come to it. Quickly go through these questions and try to find the answer. I request everybody to try to find the answer. Let me tell you the reason. You may have valid reason that you haven't still studied these topics, how you will be able to identify the answer. But let me tell you that even if you do not know this subject as of now in detail, still you can find the answer if you do some practice, and you can find the correct answer if you do some practice. For that purpose, you'll have to read the answer carefully. You'll have to read the question carefully, and you'll have to identify most suitable answer from given options. And many times it works. How are client applications typically granted access to a cognitive service endpoint? So application must specify valid subscription key. Is that the correct answer? User of the application must enter a username and password. Is that the correct answer? Or access to cognitive services granted to anonymous user by default? Which one is the correct answer here? Will answer. Question number, sorry, answer one. Let me just check. Yes, answer number one is absolutely right. Valid subscription key. I already have shown to you from where you will get the subscription key and how you submit it. Okay. Next question. you want to keep track of how often subscription keys for your cognitive services are retrieved. How many times you are retrieving that subscription? What should you do? Whenever you are hard coding that subscription key, okay, it will not recognize how many times you are doing the retrieval. Then how many times you have retrieved it, okay, for that purpose, which option would you like to go with? Regenerate a key, create an alert, or store the key in Azure keyboard? Which option is correct? Okay. Now I don't know whether the answer that you have, the number that you have mentioned is for question 1 or question 2. So better you should mention Q1 colon actual answer. That will help me, okay, to understand exactly which question you are answering. Acha, 2. Let me show you correct answer. Create an alert for your cognitive services resource. And what that alert will do, that alert will increase the count at one location. Thereby, you will come to know how many times alert has been raised. And that will give you the number of times somebody might have, you have retrieved the key. Okay, so answer question number 2 is answer number 2 is correct. I'm going through the question 3. You plan to use cognitive service container in a local Docker host. Which of the following is true? Client application must pass a subscription key to Azure subscription endpoint. No, because image is existing locally. There is no point in sending subscription key to Azure resource endpoint. You have to send it to local. So first option is not applicable. All data passed from the client application to the container is forwarded to Azure resource endpoint. Third option, the container must be able to connect to Azure resource endpoint to send usage data for billing. Which answer do you think is correct? So Lakshmi Narayan is mentioning 2. Let us check the correct answer here, and correct answer is 3rd. The container must be able to connect to the Azure resource endpoint to send usage data for billing. Let me take you to earlier slide. See here. This bridge must be established. So though your service is existing on premise, this bridge must be established to let on-premise service, to submit the information to the cloud to add into the bill about the usage. The third option is correct there. Yes. The third option is correct there. Okay. Let us go to the module 3. Okay. Before I go to the module 3, anybody has any question, please tell me. Then we can move to natural language processing. By default, we configure the keys in YAML file. No, I can hard code it, or I can configure it in YAML file also, but then I will have to ask through the code to it to pick up the key from the YAML file. I will have to ask it separately, explicitly. Yes. So mentioning key in YAML file is always the best practice instead of hard coding it in the code. Okay, but we will have to explicitly ask it to pick up the YAML file. If anybody has any other question, please go ahead. Okay, seems no question. I would like to take a quick feedback from everybody here. Okay, is this session, am I able to reach to you? Is this session bringing something new for you? Any improvisation do you suggest to me so that I can make it more valuable to you? Any improvisation if you want to suggest me, please suggest.
Hi, Chandrasekhar. So actually, it's on correct phase. So like we can go a bit speed, I mean faster. Like
I wanted to, Lakshmi Narayan, but see, I don't know whether everybody here is on the same page. Maybe some of us are expecting me to go slow, but in case if everybody tells me that I can increase the pace, I would like to. What is the pace of the session? Good, slow, fast? Please mention. How is the pace of the session? Acha, it's perfect. Okay. Okay. Anyway, gradually pace will be increased with your comfort only. So you can realize that when I began the session, the pace was little low, but now it has been little bit increased, and I will increase it little bit further. Okay. So thanks everybody for your comment. I'm going back into the discussion. So now it is module 3. Okay, it is about the language service. So natural language processing features for text analysis. Okay, what are all features available? Just observe here. Language detection. Now here you try to understand, the input can be in the form of the text document or in the form of the audio file or in the form of the audio stream. Audio stream means your service may be getting live stream. So all three types of inputs can be to it in the form of a document or in the form of an audio file or in the form of an audio stream. What language that person is speaking or in what language the text has been written, that you can come to know through language detection. So language is English. There are around 88 languages all over the world what it can recognize. And what I remember is there are 8 Indian languages in that list. 8 Indian languages in that list. Okay, so major languages, Indian languages are there. Okay, but still that list is really short of because there are some important languages like Gujarati, still it is not there. Okay, so Tamil is there, but I don't remember whether Kannada is there. Maybe it is, but I don't remember. The point what I want to bring is that language detection, yes, that feature is really nicely working there. Okay, but that feature needs augmentation of specifically for few Indian languages. Key phrase extraction. Whenever somebody speaks, what are all different words he is using, key phrases he is using in his speech, or whenever I'm submitting a documentation, like see key phrases, the news, New York, this is city name maybe, okay, country name, date and time, okay, location, those are all key phrases. So the system, so the language service can identify key phrases also. Sentiment analysis. Whatever the text written there, I am expecting this language service to understand the meaning of that text and accordingly tell me, is it a text with a positive sentiment or negative sentiment? If it is audio, whether it is using positive words or negative words. So that is sentiment analysis. Named entity recognition. From the text, lots of words can be extracted like city names, date and time. Lots of words can be extracted. We call them as an entity. So I will show you how these entities are also working. Okay, and what meaning it has assigned to that word, because sometimes what happens, for a word there may be multiple meanings. What meaning it has identified for that word, that also we can recognize as it assigns description of that word available on Wikipedia. So it assigns that URL to that word. So by clicking on that URL, I can see with what meaning it has understood that word. Okay, so here also that is called as the entity linking. All these things we can check here. Okay, this is we can use a standalone service, or if we want to use this service in conjunction with other services, that is also possible. How does it respond back to you with a language? So see here, documents, country. If in that document country is mentioned, US ID, text, hello world. Okay, this document I am submitting to it. So see here, we have recognized, we have submitted one document, and from that document it has picked up the words. These are a couple of words what it has picked up. Just a minute. And so collection of one or more text documents in the form of the JSON, optional country hint, string to be analyzed. This is the string what I am asking it to analyze. And I think this is a French sentence, Bonjour, Totle mon. This is the French statement. Whenever I am submitting such a text to it, how it will respond to me, that it has identified this ID, text number 1 here. It has detected that language of the words of this sentence, hello world, as English. Okay, ISO language name EN. This is language code which is unique all over the world. Okay, and confidence score that it has 100% confidence that this is English. It has 100% confidence that this is English. Okay, for ID2, okay, it has 100% confidence that this is French. That's how it responds to. And from the given submitted text or submitted speech, we can come to know in what language it is. Now its confidence may go low. Sometimes we use mixed sentences. We use mixed sentences, like first sentences in English and second sentences in French. And both these sentences are forming a part of the single document. Then how does it come to know, come to us saying, okay, so this document is in English? Because second sentence is not in English, it is in French. Basically, Indians are very, habitual to this. They mix, words. Whenever they will speak in Hindi, some of the sentences they put there in English also. And whenever they speak in English, sometimes they find creating a sentence difficult to create in English, so they add Hindi words. And in that case, we also get confused. So how this system will not get confused? So there then confidence score goes down. But otherwise, confidence score is 1. That is how language detection works. Key phrase extraction. This is the one sentence we are submitting. You must be the change you wish to see in the world. The journey of the 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Okay, so I may be using language detection to know the language of the sentence. Okay, so here I have got a language of the sentence. Okay, and now I will mention the language of the sentence that I want it to understand this sentence as English sentence. Okay, I want it to understand this sentence as English sentence. And from this sentence, then key phrase extraction. Key phrase extraction. How it will do? So from the key phrase, it will pick up change, word like words. You must be the. No, these are not phrases. You wish to see in the. These are not phrases. So change and word. These are the changes. Sorry, key phrases. So those key phrases it is picking. From here, okay, it is picking up miles, single step, journey. Okay, these are key phrases what it is picking up. Such key phrases, can be used later to categorize document, that this document may be, journey related. So this tweet, if it is a tweet, then it is journey related tweet. That is the way we can categorize it. Okay, so key phrases normally help, to categorize the documents or to categorize the text. That is key phrase extraction. Sentiment analysis. In sentiment analysis, looking at the sentence, it will identify whether sentence has a negative sentiment or positive sentiment. So here you observe, smile, life is good. In this, you will see words like smile, good, which are leading to a positive sentence. So somehow, whenever such a sentence is given to you, I may come to know how much is the positive sentence there, sentiment there, how much is the negative sentiment there. So here it is mentioning overall confidence. Okay, and here I am realizing that its confidence is 0.99 on this. So text smile. So now within that sentence, it is giving you sentiment word by word. So for word, okay, this much is the confidence. For life is good, this much is the confidence. Okay, so thereby it is also revealing that in case if it is saying that this is 99% positive sentiment, on what basis it is saying. So word by word also it can give you, uh, uh, the sentiment, okay, to let you realize on what basis it has come to the conclusion of specific sentiment. So that's how it identifies the sentiment. Named entity recognition. From the given text, Joe went to London on Saturday. Okay, London and Saturday, they and Joe, they may be, your key phrases. But now I want to go beyond that. And I want to know what kind of key phrase it is. So there, Joe is a person. London is a location. Saturday is a date time. So we call it as a named entity recognition. See here, person names, locations, date, time, organization name, addresses, emails, URLs. These things it can identify and categorize also. It can identify and categorize also. That is named entity recognition. Entity linking. I saw Venus shining in the sky. Now see, Venus, there are two meanings associated to it. One is uh, Venus is a star in the sky, and another is Venus is a god, Greek god also. What meaning it has collected? So it has identified Venus as a named entity. Okay, and what meaning it is considering is you can click on this link on this Wikipedia page. Okay, whether that Wikipedia page is talking about Venus as a god or Venus as a star or whatever it be. Okay, so that is it. So what meaning it has recognized, that also you can come to know. Okay, let me take you to some code to show you how does it work. I have reviewed the file here. It is inside a data container, inside subfolder text. Here it is, text. Let me show you. Multiple review files are there, review 1, review 2, review 3, review 4. These are reviews given by customers when they had a stay in some hotel. So good hotel and staff, this is hotel name, it's a location, which country that hotel or that location is belonging, on which date, clean rooms, good service, great location, okay, and other information, what is mentioned there. So hereby I am asking it to first of all, yes, okay. So see here, review folder. Review folder is the data and the text. These are folders inside with file name is belonging beginning with the word reviews. So see here, review folder. Okay, review 1, review 2, review 3, review 4. Okay, reviews folder I am mentioning here. Okay, and I am bringing reviews one by one. So whenever this for loop is executed for the first time, it will get the content of this file, review1.txt. So here I am asking it to join to that file and read that file. Okay, so here I will get the text inside that file. I already have shown to you, content of that file. Okay, from that file, okay, I want it to bring out ID. No, sorry. Content of that file here I am showing. So see here, it is getting the content from the file 1. Here is the content from the file 1, content from the file 2, content from the file 3, and content from the file 4. So I'm simply showing the contents of the different files. Now I need to create a service. So cognitive service, again, I have to go to cognitive service to bring a key from there. So here I am bringing the key. Let me mention that key here. Okay, and I bring endpoint also. Yes. Okay. So let me run this code first. Okay, I want to clear cell output. I have cleared the cell output and I am putting it to run again. And now see, it has brought the data. So now you can see that this is the output coming from the recent execution. Okay, this is another code where I am doing assignment. So again, let me clear this output. Okay, and let me put it to run. And here I got that information. Okay, this is URL and this is a key what I have given. Okay, this is another library what I will have to install. In my machine, I already have installed it. But otherwise, if you want to install it, you will have to run this command. First of all, let us detect the language. And for that purpose, what is showing the red mark here? Could not be resolved. Let me just check. Or otherwise, that skip command I will have to run again. Here you observe what we are doing. And a text analysis client we are creating. Endpoint and key we are submitting to it. And here I am getting a reference to text analytics client. On the text analytics client, I am asking it to detect the language. And here I am submitting a review. Language analysis. And then here I am showing the content of the language analysis by showing the language what it has detected. Okay, let me just clear this output now. And let me put it to run again. Okay. I think it has lost this pip command. So let me put it to run again. In the meantime, I think I have got some message. Let me just check. No. Where you have created all these codes. Okay, I am running all these codes on my local machine. See, this is a Visual Studio on my local machine. I am running this code on my local machine. And this code is actually referring to the cognitive service created on the cloud. So here, actually, I am referring to cognitive service created on the cloud. For that purpose, here I am giving the endpoint. This is endpoint URL, of the cloud service. See, this is endpoint URL of the cloud service. Okay, so this is client code which I am running on my local machine, but this code is actually referring to the service created on the cloud. Yes, pip command has been successfully executed. Now let me put this code to run. Okay, Azure library, it's missing with Azure library. Azure library, why it is not recognizing Azure library? This code got successfully executed. Cognitive service language text analysis. Why it is showing me red mark here? No module named Azure. This Azure it is recognizing. Some more import perhaps I am missing. Some import perhaps I am missing. Let me just check. Actually, I don't need this import because this import is of custom region. Just gone into lengthy execution. I simply want to terminate it. How do I terminate it? Anybody knows? How can I terminate execution of this command?
Box button next to the field, it will stop the to the left.
Right
You have
side
the,
of that execution
Acha.
command.
yeah,
Okay.
just stop. It will just stop. Yeah.
Yes, I clicked it. But still it is not stopping.
You can just copy this and delete the box.
It's still executing it. Add insert cell below. Anyway, that is not going to work.
So there is a missing one. We need to insert the percentage. So when you click on that red line, it will show the recommendation.
Yes, it is asking me to mention the percentage, but in Visual Studio Code, in Jupyter, I give percentage. Here we are supposed to give exclamation sign only. Visual Studio Code, we have to give exclamation sign only. So that command is correct. That command is correct. Run by line. Shell execute down. Then
Could you try the same in collaboratory, see if it is working, and then try here?
collaboratory means?
I mean, it's online, Google based.
Okay,
It's
okay.
also,
No,
yeah.
it is working. It is working. That I am pretty sure it is working because this code, I have used many times. Not only that, now here is the Visual Studio. I tried whole this code even through Jupyter also. So I don't doubt whether code will work or not. The only thing is I am now not able to recall how do I terminate it, terminate the execution. Because
Probably try switching the kernel to 3.9. It is in the Python kernel 3.8.
I have 3.8 only. I don't have 3.9 in my local machine. Other thing, execute a cell. Let me close this. Don't save. Okay, fine. If it doesn't work, there may be an issue with some of the pip command. Okay, so that is the reason why it is not working. Anyway, code is running, code is working. Okay, I might have missed some, pip command, which may be there in earlier Python code. If I go step by step, I'm 100% sure it works. Okay.
There was no space between the exclamation and pip. So could you try giving a space? And there should be a space
That
between
may be
the.
the reason.
Yeah.
Running cell with requires kernel package.
Now it's working.
No, I do not see even so many logged messages here. I'm not pretty sure whether it is working, but otherwise it should have shown me what softwares it has installed. But let's wait for a while. But anyway, this command, I don't think this pip command will work for us. It's not getting Azure at all. The issue may be something else. This is actually installing custom vision. Okay, and we are not using custom vision in text analysis. Stop cell execution. Okay, it is not stopping cell execution also. Language text analysis I already have installed and still it is not able to get it. Whether an issue is with a Visual Studio Code. Let me do one thing. Let me close this Visual Studio Code and reopen it. So I'm closing it now. Let me reopen it. Okay, that library is already existing there and still it is showing me red mark. But it is still executing. Requirement already satisfied that pip command is still not completed here. Okay, that it is hanging in pip command. It is hanging in pip command. It is not completing execution of a pip command. And that was the reason perhaps as the pip command is not completely executed, it is not recognizing these things. So somehow, maybe at a later point of time, it will complete execution of this pip command.
Shall I suggest something like if you could install it from the PowerShell separately and then try executing here, because I think the service is having some other dependencies that has to be installed locally. So you can run the same thing in the PowerShell.
PowerShell means from new terminal?
Yeah, in the Windows PowerShell separately in a window as an administrator. I think this is not lodged as an administrator, so the dependencies are not getting updated.
I doubt that is the problem because this code I have executed many a times. Python. It's
I think it should be run as administrator.
Yeah, run as a
Right. Python as administrator. What is the command to install? Git command. Shall I run directly? Everything is installed there. So requirement already satisfied. I don't see that is the problem. But now let me try putting this code to run. No, okay. I will have to rectify this problem in my machine. Okay, as of now, it's not working. But the problem is with improper installation of the libraries. Otherwise, code is working properly. I may have to try with some different Python. Now it is using 3.7.8 and I will have to do installation. I have done installation on 3.8. Okay. Asha, one error has gone. Wait. Now I think it is working. Now I think it is working. Just a minute. I got the data. Let me do initialize keys here. Let me install on this new machine, new Python. Let me wait until it completes installation. Yes. So that also it has completed. Yeah, it has completed it. Yes. Next, I am putting the code to run. And here I will have to get the result. See here. Okay, sorry for getting a late response. I quickly not realized that I am working with some different Python version. Okay, and I have to have Python 3.8.x at least. Okay, but here it has detected a language in every tweet. So English in every tweet, it has detected the language. Extract key phases. Now let me clear the output and let me show you how it will identify key phrases from all these text documents. So see, key phrase analysis. Text analysis client what we created earlier, and on that I'm calling key phrase method. Okay, and then I'm asking it to print all the key phrases. So for every document, it is identifying key phrases. So review 1.txt, all these are the key phrases what it has identified. For every document, it has identified key phrases. Okay, as of now, yes. Okay, so that's how key phrases are being identified. Now here I want to do sentiment analysis. So for that purpose on the text analysis client, I am calling sentiment. Here I am getting a sentiment analysis. Okay, and to the sentiment analysis, I am submitting the document. Okay, and here again, let me clear the output and let me put it to run. So see here, it is recognizing that the first document is giving positive sentiment. Second document is giving negative sentiment. Let me open a second document for you. And let us see whether we also realize that it is with a negative sentiments. This is an old hotel with a room furnishing are average. So old hotel, average, becoming a bit old now and require cleaning, changing, internet did not work. So it is pretty clear that this particular tweet is having negative sentiment. Too far to walk. There are lot many words here, which are clearly suggesting for negative sentiment. Let me open review 4 and let me show you. Hotel is located in Lombard Street, which is very busy 6-lane street directly of the Golden traffic from early morning until late night, is especially on weekends, noise, better insulated, room should be better insulated, had to put cotton balls in here. See, there are many signals here directing to the negative sentiment. But that's how from the text you can get negative sentiment. Here I am getting entities. So on the same client here I am applying entities. Okay, and from the when I apply entities, okay, entities method, what information do I get here? Just observe. Okay, and for every word, it is trying to take me to URL of the Wikipedia. So what kind of meaning it has taken it for that word? Okay, so the more detail of that meaning you will find on Wikipedia. So that's how this text analysis is working. Let me know. Is it clear to everybody here? Let me know. Is it clear to everybody here?
Yes.
Okay. Text translation. I have got some message. Yes. So see that API. That API is also interesting. So service is already existing, and through this API, we are accessing that service. Translation service. Multilingual text translation. So one-to-many translations and transliteration. Translation is a different thing. Transliteration is different thing. Translation means English to Hindi, English to other language. That is translation. And what is transliteration? On WhatsApp, many of us are habitual for transliteration. Like, we type Marathi words in English alphabets. That is transliteration. Hindi words in English alphabets. अरे क्या कर रहा है? ARY, अरे, KYA, क्या? That is transliteration. So both way it is possible. Okay, so first of all, we have to, detect the language, and then we have to translate the say language, one language to another language. For example, if it is a hello word in English, okay, in French it is bonjour, or in Hindi, it may be kaise ho. Okay, so hello may be translated to kaise ho. Transliteration. So hello can be written in Chinese or in Japanese, something like this. This is Japanese input, and for that input, we may get language as the Japanese. We may get its English translation as hello. We may get its French translation as bonjour. Okay, and we may transliterate it into English as konnichiwa, something like that. That is transliteration. Here we will submit the text in JSON, and it will give me what language it has detected as. Okay, so this is standard language code JA for Japanese language. Here it will do translation. So this is Japanese submitted text, and it will be translated to hello in English and bonjour as in French. Transliteration. Okay, here I am submitting it in Japanese, and there I will get alphabetically translated word, Japanese word in English. Okay, yes. Let's check whether I have any under translation. Translating text. I will not put every code to run here. I already have shown to you that the code is working. Okay. Let me show you this code. Okay, again, I will have to replace these values with appropriate values. So here I copy key one, I paste it here. This code is also working. Huh? Every code here is working. And this is the endpoint. Here I am placing. Yes. I'm putting it to run. Now every time it will keep asking me. I think this one, what I have selected, I don't remember now. And here you observe. Okay, hello world I am submitting to this method. Translate text. Region is submitted, key is submitted, text to translate. Okay, and I want to translate it to Hindi and English. Okay, and then I'm calling that method. All those values will be passed here. Okay, translate text. And here, then all those values are being used. Okay, and here you observe. Yes. And let me put it to run. Okay. Now, I will have to rectify this code again. I don't know why this code is failing, but there may be some small mistake I might have committed here or there, because of which, it is giving me error. Okay, but the point again I would like to bring to your notice is there may be some small mistake here or there that I will have to rectify. Okay, as I am running out of time, I don't think I should waste even a 2-3 minutes in its rectification. But the point what I want to bring to your notice is this is the way I can get the text translated. I can get the text translated. Okay, and I can do a speech translation also. Speech translation also. So I may submit audio file to it, or I may ask it to pick up a data from mic of the machine, and whatever I will speak, it will translate it into another language. So I may have to submit from which language I want it to recognize, from which language I want it to recognize, and to which language it should translate it. So that I can mention there. Okay, and whatever I speak, that will be translated to text. That will be translated to text. Okay, and I can see that translated text here. Okay, so it will show me translated text here. So there again, if you observe carefully, somewhere I must be creating a client. So here you can see speech translation config. Okay, speech recognition language and other information I am giving to it. Okay, translation recognizer. Okay, that class I am creating. Okay, and that will recognize the things. So translation recognizer here. We are creating a recognizer. Okay, and that recognizer we are using somewhere. Recognize once. And so recognizer we are using here. Okay, and here I am getting a result to the recognizer. Here I am giving configuration also. And then here I am getting the result, translated result. So this is speech to text. Similarly, text to speech, that is also possible. So I may be submitting some text to it. Let me just check that code is here or not. Yes, here I am submitting some audio to it. No. Here I am submitting file to it, and that it will convert it into speech. Now, in whose audio you want to listen to that speech, those options also can be given. Whether you want to listen to that text in the audio of a woman, mean, what kind of voice do you want to hear, low pitch voice, high pitch voice, all those parameters you can configure here. All those parameters you can configure here, and you can define in what way you want to hear that audio. Okay, and so that is also possible. So text to audio conversion, that is also possible here. Okay, and there again we are using speech service. So somewhere we are using that speech service. Here we are using that speech service. Okay, so speech config, audio config, result, speech translation config, translation recognizer. That is the translation service what we are getting. That is important. That's how it has to work. Okay, you will get the information in this JSON form, and that information from the JSON then you can utilize for your purpose. Word alignment, sentence length, how much pause it should introduce in between the word, whether you want somebody to speak very fast, whether you want somebody to speak slow, all those configurations you can give. Okay, profanity filtering. Sometimes there may be some objectionable words in that text. Shall it drop those objectionable words? That is profanity filtering. Whether you want profanity filtering, whether you want those words to be dropped. Okay, so all these configurations you can give, and you can design your custom translation also. As of now, there are 8 Indian languages. By using this custom translation, you can add more and more languages there. See, we need to add more languages there. And just recently, we have got an inquiry on creating such type of translators for our parliament, which is recently built in Delhi. Okay, and there they want to introduce this system, and there they wanted to include around 36 Indian languages. As of now, only 8 are available, and they wanted, to train remaining languages, train models for remaining languages. So their custom translation they are using. The point what I want to bring to your notice is that this technology Indian government is already using, so are planning to use. These things are yet to come to the private institutions and private organizations, but government of India is already planning to use it. Okay, answer these questions. Let me show you answers to these questions. Okay, you please go through the questions and refer to the answers. Don't have time to wait for uh, all of us to answer. So just cross check question with answer here. Yeah, just cross check. Okay, I'm going ahead. I hope you have cross checked all the 3 questions. So I'm going ahead. Module 4, speech recognition synthesis. Okay, I already have shown you the code on this: speech to text and text to speech, speech translation, speech recognition. All these things we already have discussed. Speech to text and text for short audio and for long audios. Okay, short audios means for single sentence, and long audios means for a complete speech. Both these services are available there, and there are 2 different APIs for this purpose. Okay, Observe here, on speech recognizer, you will call recognize once async method. Let me show you the code for this also. Translation we have seen speech here. Okay. Observe here, speech config, speech synthesizer or speech recognizer. Speech recognizer, if you recall, I used in earlier code. Here I am showing you how can we use a speech synthesizer. So this is the way we can use a speech synthesizer. Speak text. Yes. You will come to know the duration of the speech. What is the content or meaning of that speech? Excuse me, just a minute. Okay. So transcript of the recognized page and those things you will come to know. So that information you will get in form of a JSON. Okay. Speak text asynchronous. Okay, two APIs are there. Speak text asynchronous and recognize once asynchronous. Like two APIs are there. One API is for large audio files, another API is for small audio. Different audio formats it can take. So it can take, MP4, wave format and other audio formats. It can create in case of text to speech, it can create a different types of voices, and those voices can be configured also. Okay, so that way, you will get speech translation or speech recognition or speech synthesis. Yes. Okay, quickly go through these questions. I am showing you answers also. So I am showing you answers of all the questions. Please cross check the answers in your mind. Okay, so I hope you have cross-checked with it. Okay, let me know any question on this. Let me know any question on this. Hello, I hope you are getting at least fair idea is what kind of services are available under speech services. So identifying the language of the text, identifying the language in the speech, converting text into speech, converting speech into text, all these are the services available there. So I hope you have got a fair idea on that. One last module I will take you through before we go for the lunch break. And it is regarding language understanding. So natural language processing requires language model to interpret user input. Language understanding means when you order something, your audio, just a minute, I have got some message. Yes. If you order something like you order to Alexa, when you order something, Alexa has to understand your command. If you order to Alexa to switch on uh, machine, it will have to switch on machine. It may not, you may not order to it Alexa, but there are, IoT devices and there are systems which can listen to your audio voice, which can listen to your commands, and accordingly those devices work. I have in my home, light fixed in the hall, to which I can order and that light gets switched on automatically. And through Alexa, I have configured it. The point what I want to bring to your notice is that I can use Alexa also to switch on the machines. Okay. So in such case, then how it works, let us try to understand. So first of all, we have to train the system. We have to train the system. So there are utterances and intents. So this is utterance. What time it is? Tell me the time. Okay. And what are all possible sentences I can fabricate with a meaning of asking for the time? Those are all utterances. What is the weather forecast? Do I need an umbrella? Will it rain today? These kinds of sentences or these kinds of utterances basically are giving the intent of getting the weather information. Turn on the light, switch on the light. These are utterances for asking Alexa to start the device, to switch on the device. So utterances are the sentences which we will utter, and intent is the meaning of those sentences for actual machine. Something what machine has to understand, that is intent. So first of all, I have to train the model by submitting utterances and intents to it. And there is an arrangement, there is a portal available here for which different utterances I have to submit. Okay, and meaning of those utterances I have to submit. Entities. Okay, in your utterances, you can submit entities also. For example, how is the weather today? Okay, when I ask this question to Alexa, first of all, Alexa has to find out where I am, in which location I am. Am I in Mumbai or am I in different city? Because it has to gather weather information for that city. So it has to first of all understand where I am. And once it comes to know where I am, then it may query to the Google, or query to some system which will give it that information. It will give it the weather information. Similarly, what is a time in London? So it has to identify the word London. Identifying that I am asking for the time is not sufficient. So it has to identify entity. So London is the location. Paris is the location. If I mention what is the time, okay, there it has to identify from the location where I am. Whether I want to ask the time, IST, Indian Standard Time, or some other time. Okay, so that location, tonight, today, that time is actually those are creating entities here. So those entities also I have to recognize, and that entity I don't have to train to this. That entity, your system is already trained with those entities. That I don't have to tell it what do you mean by what does it mean by London? What does it mean by Mumbai? I don't have to tell it. It knows the city names. It knows the today, yesterday, tomorrow, day after tomorrow. It knows all those things also. It knows morning, noon, afternoon, evening. It knows on, off. It knows those words. The only thing is I will have to fabricate sentences for it. Okay, and my sentence may not be exactly similar. Somebody says turn the light on, and somebody says turn light on. So the word the, even if it's missed, it recognizes that difference. Recognizes that difference. So pre-built entity components are already there. So lots of pre-built entity components are already there. I don't have to train the system for them. I will have to create the model. I will have to train the model with the different sentences, utterances, and intents. Okay, and then we will have to deploy the model, and accordingly that model starts working. So deployment means we will have to publish the model. So that model we will have to publish, and that's how it works. Again, in the same line, I will get, if I want to publish it, not on the cognitive service, but inside the Alexa machine that is inside my house. In that case, I will have to get that image of that model into my machine. Okay, I will have to install that image into the container. So my Alexa box will have that container, and that image I will have to install there, and then that that will start listening to me. Okay, if it is a free service, that is well and good. But if it is not a free service, every time it will keep billing me here. Usage metrics required for billing are sent to the resources Azure. Now it is a free service for me. Alexa is a free service for me because when I bought this Alexa, I already have paid for this service. So now it will not charge. Okay, but otherwise charge. Let me show you the questions and their answers. And there, then I will have to conclude this lesson. Take a break. If you have any query on these questions, or if you want any kind of explanation of the answers to these questions, let me know.
Intent part, like what kind of element will be those?
Element, which question are you referring to?
First question for intent and utterance, like what kind of elements will be used?
Entity, no? Your app must interpret a command to book a flight to a specified city, such as book a flight to Paris. How should you model the city element of the command? City name is the entity.
Right. I'm clear about the entity part. I'm asking about the other two categories, like how would it be, we can modify. For example, if we said, how, in case if we have to declare something as an utterance, what will be the example for that?
Acha. Okay. So utterance can be book a flight for me from Mumbai to Bangalore. This whole sentence is utterance. And in this whole sentence, Mumbai to Bangalore. Okay, that will be entities. Mumbai is entity, Bangalore is entity, flight is one more entity. So it will come to know what kind of booking it has to do. I may utter a sentence like book a book a seat in railway for Mumbai to Bangalore train, or book a seat in train or Mumbai to Bangalore. So train, Mumbai, Bangalore, these are entities, and whole sentence forms utterance. And word book defines the intent. Book is a verb. What it has to do? It has to reserve the set. So that is intent. Whole sentence is utterance. The verb is the intent here. intent here, and we call it as a Bangalore, Mumbai. What we call them as in English? Not able to recall that word. Those are entities.
Nouns.
Uh, nouns, you can say nouns. Those are entities. Any other question? Okay. I think it is a time for us to have a lunch break. Okay, Chaitali, are you there?
Yes, sir. We can go for the lunch break. Yeah. So we'll take 1 hour break.
And
Yeah.
we will resume by 2:30, is it?
Yeah.
So I'm
Okay.
requesting everybody to be there by 2:30. Okay, we will resume the session by 2:30. So by that time, enjoy your lunch break.
Can you please just set the timer on the screen?
How do I set the timer? You mean should I go to cloud service, some cloud service? Google, let me search how to set, sorry, setting a timer.
No, in the Windows itself, there is a timer. You can find it out. Just push the start button and type the timer. You will find it out.
Timer. Countdown. I want to set it for 60 minutes. Countdown. Yes.
Please share on the screen also so that everybody can
Uh-huh.
view it. Yep.
Yes. Edit timer. I have edited timer. Countdown. Let me share the screen. Now, how do I start it? It is not enabling. I edited it. How do I start it? Timer. Countdown. Click on top. I start it. Edit. Cancel. It is not enabling the start button.
Set to 1 hour, na? Just that first one.
Acha. Okay. Uh-huh. Acha. I'm starting it. Okay, thank you.
And Chaitali, meanwhile, you can stop the recording and resume the recording once session start.